What was ruined by rich people? There used to be a really nice big park in the center of the city where I live. Everyone would go there. It was a nice open space. Take your kids, take your dogs, enjoy the fresh air. Then some people from the rich part of town along the edges of the park decided they didn't like the noise coming from the park and pulled some bullshit to buy it out and walled it off so you couldn't go to the park unless you lived in that specific neighborhood anymore. The worst part is a ton of money was spent when they first bought it building it up, adding fountains and children's play areas and redoing the flower beds, and then no money or attention was given to it again and the whole place fell into disrepair, so now even if you live in the neighborhood you can't go there because everything is falling apart and overgrown. So the a-holes took the really nice park from everyone else and then neglected it until it became a SHT hole in the middle of the city. Some of the country's best racetracks have dealt with this similar thing. Track gets built out in the boonies, boonies get bought and rich folk move in, complain about track noise, sometimes gets the track shut down. Personally, I believe some sort of it was here first regarding things like parks and racetracks should exist to stop this from happening. This is happening to Cletus McFarland's racetrack in Florida right now. He sunk his savings into resurrecting an old racetrack, made it into a very popular and profitable business that brings in people from all across the country. It's in the middle of nowhere so they're always free to do whatever they want without noise limits, but some rich contractor bought the land right next to it to develop 4,000 homes and it's going to put the track in jeopardy. Sucks, but I also don't see it panning out well in the long run. I'd like to hope, but 10 years down the road when the houses are built and those same officials are either gone or have shifted their goals, I doubt he'll be able to operate it as he does now. If he could stay open at all, it would likely be under the same choking restrictions that have cost us so many tracks already by reducing their ability to operate until it's no longer profitable. It's a war of attrition. Granted, Cleety Boy is pretty wealthy in his own right, and he's got a pretty substantial amount of leverage with his company and assets, but I'm not sure he has the kind of FKU money that backs most of the rezoning deals. Happens with live music at pubs. Decoles move in, complain about the noise, the live music gets shut down, the pub gets boring because nothing ever happens, then everyone, including the decoles, complain there is never anything to do and bands never tour anywhere nearby. Back in the 90s, my family moved into a development in a mountain town. The road wasn't even paved when we started building the house. For most of my formative years, it was great. There were bike paths through the woods, and some bridges over the lakes, a gas station with a SHT pizza place, lakes you couldn't swim in or use motor boats on, and there would be block parties every summer. It was a middle-class development with some upper and lower middle class as well. Then the houses started to go up and the rich folks moved in. They blocked off the bike trails when they built their homes near them, complained about the usual shenanigans the adults and kids got into, capture the flag at 9 p.m., nope, not anymore, the coups will get called. Then they ruined the block parties by moving them to their cul-de-sac, and ending them early. Number 2 a.m. burgers cooked by drunk dads who snuck off and got stoned with the teens, no firing the cannon my granddad built, no water balloon fight, and instead of DJs, we got the joy of music from their 3 convertibles tuned to WSUK. Also the neighbors that were cool before, started becoming sycophants. Oh, and they have funded an effort to make the lake swimmable, ruined the fishing and never finished, so no swimming or fishing. Oh boy do I have a lot to say about this. It's off topic for the original post but I feel compelled to have a rant about the current state of op shops, thrift stores. They've been ruined by ultra-fast fashion. I didn't visit an op shop for about a year during COVID and when I revisited my old favorite shops most were overstocked with overpriced shine crap because the old ladies who volunteer to sort clothes don't know just how cheap an SHT it is. The op shop where I volunteer has a long list of brands they won't resell so at least there's no shine on the shelves but it still gets donated and it mostly just gets thrown away. Some will be made into rags but a lot of the fabrics are so cheap I doubt they're even good for that. So people are buying plastic clothes made by people who are almost certainly being exploited, having those clothes shipped across the planet just to try them on and realize they don't fit right, they'll never fit right, well-fitting clothes take time and money, and then they drop them off to the op shop which probably makes them feel like they're doing something good but all they're doing is making someone else get rid of their trash. I used to thrift a lot and found it got ruined right when that Macklemore song came out. It's like he told everyone a secret. I used to be able to go thrifting and come back with like 3 new work shirts and a pair of pants for like $15, good clothes too, some with the tag still on it. After that song, good luck finding my size at all, the clothes that were left were all SHT, and they want $10 for a shirt now. You can guess a person's age by their opinion on Champion. Old FKS like me remember when Champion was a premium brand, made the official/authentic jerseys for the NBA, and their tees were $30 plus, which would be like paying $40 to $50 for a tee nowadays. Then, Champion fell off the map before becoming a cheap brand you could find at Walmart. Then, Champion became a fashion brand again and starting doing collabs with Todd Snyder. Back in the day, Champion was on the same level as Nike for sportswear. Young people are absolutely shocked that people pay good money for Champion sweatshirts nowadays. Renting. The overabundance of Airbnbs and $2,000 studio apartments in rural/suburban places is outrageous and ruining the possibility for low-income and working-class people to have a roof over their heads. I live in New York State, and ever since COVID all these city richies are buying up all the cheap places in the country to try and make a profit, as if they need any more money. For a fun day out with you and a friend at an NFL game will run you around $500. Or you could watch it on your big screen TV at home, which has better play-by-play and angles than being at the game where you end up watching half of it on a monitor anyway. Unless I get tickets for free, I don't even bother going to sporting events anymore. Theme parks. Gone are the days when everyone was equal and you all had to queue, regardless of your income. And even until recently some theme parks gave fast passes periodically throughout the day. Now if you've got deep pockets you can queue jump, making your day a little better and everyone else's a little worse. Instagram. When it first launched we were content to post grainy pics of our average-looking sandwich that we made ourselves. Or a mundane selfie. The background and the angle didn't matter. Studies show that since the wealthy started sharing their lives on IG, our collective standard of living changed, and it's trickled down to our influencers mimicking wealth down to average users. We're exposed to yacht parties. Expertly organized and color-coded walk-in closets, high-end facials and party-planned gender reveals. We're benchmarking our posts with professional photographers and videographers, elevating our expectations for everything. Edit, for those saying, just don't use it, it's influenced every aspect of society whether you're on it or not. Collectively society aspires to a flashier existence. Instagram has inspired new aesthetic-forward businesses like restaurants and coffee shops, tourism, home decor and types of homes, gyms and gym bodies. Fashion. Any hobby where there's potential profit. Now you've got geekheads like the Logan Paul ruining Pokemon cards. Not because they're into them because they like Pokemon, but because they read the stories about the rare cards and just hammer their endless piles of cash into getting everything. Same with those a-hole sheiks with massive comic book collections. They don't give a FK about comics. They just collect popular valuable stuff. YouTuber Carl Jobst had a good video on this for vintage video games. Basically, a new grader named Wata Games came out of nowhere, claimed to be the lead in the industry for rating inbox games, entirely false, multiple others already existed, and the owner had zero history. Any game Wata listed was sold by Heritage Auction House for over $1 million. You used to be able to get a new in-box Mario Bros. NES game for like $1,000 if someone was selling. Now they're millions a piece. Until they got sued. Very much a plainly obvious scam. Cheap foods, like chicharrones or tuétano. I'm from Mexico. When I was a kid, tuétano was something that were even gift in meats market, now they sell you a bone-in meat price or even higher. The same with chicharrón, that was really cheap to buy, but with rich people discovering how good it is, now is impossible. All places up the prices because rich people buy it at high rates, and don't know what the heck they are shopping anyway.